Every morning, before the sun had fully risen over Rome, I sat alone. No servants, no advisors, no decisions to make yet. Just silence, a candle, and my journal. I was the most powerful man on earth. I commanded armies. I governed millions. And yet the most important thing I did every single day happened before any of it. I woke up early, and I prepared my mind. My name is Marcus Aurelius. I was emperor of Rome for nearly 2 decades. And in all that time, through war, plague, betrayal, and loss, the one thing that kept me grounded was the discipline of the morning. Today I want to share that discipline with you, because the morning is not just a time of day. It is a decision, a declaration. It is the moment where you choose, before the world makes its demands, who you are going to be. Most people wake up and immediately surrender that choice. They reach for their phone. They check their messages. They let the noise of the world flood in before they have had a single thought of their own. And from that moment, the day owns them. They do not own the day. I refuse to let that happen. And so can you. Here is what I understood that most people never will. The morning is the only time of day that belongs entirely to you. Before your obligations begin, before others need something from you, before the world starts pulling you in 10 directions. That window, however small, is sacred, and what you do with it determines everything that follows. In my journal, which you now know as meditations, I wrote every morning not for an audience, but for myself. I reminded myself of what mattered. I prepared for difficulty. I set my intention. I wrote things like, when you wake up in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. Not as poetry, as a practice, a daily reset of perspective before the chaos began. The Stoics believed that the mind, like the body, requires training. You would not walk into battle without preparing your body. Why would you walk into a day without preparing your mind? The morning is your training ground. Let me tell you what I did, and what I believe you should do. The first thing I did upon waking was resist the pull of comfort. The bed is warm. The day is cold. Every part of you wants to stay. But I wrote this to myself. It is not comfortable to lie in bed any longer. Get up. Do the work you were made for. Not harshly, not with self-punishment, but with the quiet understanding that ease is not the goal. Purpose is. When you rise early, you are making a statement to yourself before you make any statement to the world. You are saying, I am in control of this day, not the other way around. The second thing I did was sit in silence. Not emptiness, intentional silence. I thought about the day ahead. What challenges would come? How would I want to respond to them? What kind of person did I intend to be when those moments arrived? The Stoics called this the morning premeditation. You rehearse the day before it happens. You decide in advance who you will be when things go wrong, because things will go wrong. They always do. The question is whether you have already decided how to handle it. This is why those who rise early seem unshakable. It is not that they are stronger than others. It is that they have already had the difficult conversation with themselves before the day demanded it. The third thing I did was write, even a few sentences. Gratitude for being alive. A principle to carry through the day. A reminder of what truly mattered and what did not. Writing is thinking made visible. When you write your intentions, they become real. They move from the abstract to the concrete, and they hold you accountable in a way that thoughts alone never can. Now I want to speak to you directly. I know what you are thinking. You are thinking that you are not a morning person, that you need more sleep, that your life does not allow for this. I ruled an empire during a plague that killed millions. I fought wars on 3 different frontiers simultaneously. I raised children, managed politics, and navigated betrayal at the highest levels of power. And I still found the morning, because I understood something that took me years to learn. You do not find time. You make it. And the morning is the only time that has not yet been taken by someone else. Even 15 minutes, even 10, before the phone, before the noise, before the demands begin. Sit, breathe, think, write one sentence about what matters today. That is enough to change the entire shape of a day. The ancient world produced its greatest minds in an era with no electricity, no alarm clocks, no modern convenience of any kind. And without exception, the philosophers, the generals, the leaders who shaped history, they were people of the early morning. Not because they had more willpower than you, but because they understood that the mind is most powerful before the world touches it. Protect that time. Guard it. Treat it as the most important meeting of your day, because it is. Here is what I want to leave you with. You will not always feel like waking up early. Some mornings the pull of sleep will be overwhelming. Some mornings you will fail. That is fine. I failed too. I wrote about it. And then I tried again the next morning. The goal is not perfection. The goal is intention. The goal is choosing as many mornings as you can to meet the day on your terms rather than the world's terms. Because a life lived on your own terms, even imperfectly, is the only life worth living. The morning is where that life begins. Every single day, if these words reached something in you, if you felt even a small shift, then follow this channel. Every week, we return to the ancient voices that still speak the truth. Because some wisdom does not age. It only deepens. I will see you in the next one.